it had that vibe to it, you know, that like kind of silly, quirky, snarky thing he's known for. We're live, by the way. Now we're good.
Like live or?
Well, like more pre-live. How long have we been doing this? You ought to know where we're at.
I just got the notification on our phone. Because I subscribed to my own YouTube channel, damn it.
On our phone?
Yeah. We share a phone out there.
We share everything. We have a very communistic relationship. You don't pee in a urinal, it's an ourinal.
Heisman ceremony tomorrow.
Oh, is it really? I heard Jalen Daniels was a finalist.
He is, and he's going to win it because he has the best stats.
Tim, Bo Nixon, Penix,
Penix and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Sheesh.
Although, if you want to put a receiver up there, it shouldn't be Marvin Harrison Jr. It should be Malik Neighbors. Because Malik Neighbors is going to win the Biletnikoff, and if he doesn't, he was robbed.
I'm pretty sure Michael Penix is going to win the Heisman, right? Well, he's got to.
No. Jay Daniels' stats are better.
I mean, you might be right, but it's just got me questioning.
Also, us Pool Supply boys got a new manager.
Heard about that.
I mean, they just promoted our assistant manager to our branch manager. But
that reminds me of a talking point I have for this week.
I also have a talking point. I have a bit of trivia and a would you rather question, or a scenario question. And the question I'm going to ask you is going to be right up your alley.
Ooh. Wait a minute, let me turn that shit up. Hang on. Hey.
What you playing?
It's just a song from a game.
You all are much more into video game soundtracks than I am.
You haven't heard enough.
Very true. But also, that's very correct, Brian. He says so with the 4 teams in the playoffs, we're all Texas Longhorn fans, right? I think they're going to beat Washington, and I think it's going to be Michigan and Texas in the Natty, and then...
We'll talk about that because I have thoughts. All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's your boy Spencer. It's your boy Daryl. It's your boy Spencer. And we're here, as usual, to talk about the sport of football. Brian, I am so sorry. That was painful to watch. I really thought Oregon was going to do it. I was pulling for them. But, you know.
Huskies got that dog in them.
Huskies do indeed. Got that dog in them. You know, it's a shame. I do feel for you, Brian, because it's, you know, when you get to play a team, when you have the luxury of playing a team twice like that, you feel like, all right, they got us the first time. It only feels natural that the hands of fate are going to say, all right, we get them the second time around. But when
we're going to talk about getting somebody second time around when we get to the NFL games, but
that's what I'm saying. But yeah, no, that's a real shame. But were you surprised at all by the playoff selection, Spencer? What did you think? How did you feel about Florida State not making it in? How did you feel about Alabama making it in? Who is your favorite to win it all? What do you think?
I would. Obviously, if you know anything about me, I wish absolutely nothing but mediocrity for Alabama.
Right, of course.
My dog was doing. I'm sorry. But yeah, I was not surprised.
No.
If they would have lost to Auburn, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Well, right. I think you're right.
But I think two things can be true. I think one, it can be the correct thing to have done to put Alabama in, and also that they screwed Florida State.
Well, yeah, I agree, and I think that's the thing. Like, that's why I labeled it shafted but correct. Like, as much as I'm a Mike Norvell fan, and as much as I think Florida State was deserving of their record this year, the bottom line is they're not the same team they started the year out as, and that's a bad thing. Alabama is not the same team they started the year out as, and that's a good thing for them, right? They have clearly improved, and not that Florida State's gotten worse, but realistically, that their quarterback situation being on your third string, they're not top four team in the country, and that's what it's defined as right now. Like, should they have a chance? Absolutely, which is why we need to have a bigger playoff system. And here's the thing: even if Alabama loses and that fourth spot is open, I still think you put Ohio State in over them.
Put Ohio State. Ohio State would have to play Michigan again.
Yes, and here's my thing: is I think that if we're being honest, is this Florida State team beating Ohio State?
No.
Exactly. They should have got the number 4 spot if Bama didn't get in. But so it's interesting.
No, I think if Bama doesn't get in, they would put Georgia in.
Yeah, you can see that.
Even if Bama had won the SEC championship, they'd put Georgia in.
But the point is, Florida State wasn't making it in regardless. Them being in number 5 was like a courtesy,
And they also came out and said today that there was never a moment where Texas was not in.
Really? I didn't know that part.
The committee said that. They said there was not a moment in our discussions where Texas was not in the top 4.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So it was always Michigan, Washington, Texas. And then you just had to pick between Bama, Georgia, Ohio State, and Florida State.
Spencer Rojas, Will, how are y'all doing, man? Spencer says Texas taking it all. What do you think, buddy? Who do you think is a favorite to win this whole thing?
He's a big Horns fan.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to be cheap. He's probably the biggest Longhorn fan I know besides your dad and Will's mom.
I have decided not to root against them. That's the best I can do. That's the best I can do. But I will tell you,
too much college station in him.
But I will tell you this: if this is the year that the Rangers win the World Series, the Longhorns win the Natty, and Dallas doesn't win the Super Bowl, I'm going to be ill. Like, I'm going to be physically ill, knowing that happened that way. Now, if they all 3 go, fine. That's fine. My dad will be happy. We'll all have a Merry Christmas. But the point is, it can't happen that way. That would drive me sick. That the Texas teams I don't want to win.
Yeah, for real. That would be like, I've recently decided that I'm a Spurs fan. That would be like watching the Astros win the World Series and the Spurs win the championship, and then the Cowboys don't make it.
Right. Yeah. So it is what it is.
Anyway, speaking of the Cowboys, what did you think about that game against the Seahawks on Thursday?
Yeah, it was a thriller. It was too much of a thriller for me.
Electric.
Well, and I think what stuck out during that game, I was texting you the whole time that our defense was the problem. Dak did his job. Like, he's done a great job all year. The defense was stinking it up. But let's be fair, Geno Smith was making some incredible throws. I mean, he had a lot of good decision making the whole game. He was dropping it in the bucket with the exception of those final 3 drives. Like, he was pretty damn unstoppable. If that Geno Smith shows up against San Francisco, that might be a good game to watch. So that San Fran's going to win. But it's going to be a better game to watch if that Geno shows up.
It's just now hitting me that we talked about this game last week, and I'm asking you about it again.
No, it's fine.
But yeah, like I said last week, I'm going to be the biggest Seahawks fan in the world for 2 weeks. Because after we play the Eagles, they play the Eagles, and then they play the 49ers. Mm-hmm. So, I need that to happen.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting. Yeah, I see that.
Heisman.
It's going to be very interesting to see if Dallas does manage to beat Philly this weekend, because they're going to be tied for the division. And those last 5 or 6 games, it's going to be just a race to see who can accumulate the best record to win.
We were talking about these games we got left, me and you, and we got at the time we had 6 games left. It was before we played the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you think our record's going to be? And I was like, realistically, it'll probably be 4-2. We're going to drop a game, maybe. Mm-hmm. And you were like, no, we're going to go 5-1 and lose to the Commanders this weekend season. Because, of course, we will.
It's not a prediction. It is a spoiler. Will says, I'm alive for the Texans somehow sneaking and the Cowboys somehow miss. I'm telling you, Will, that I didn't want to voice it. I didn't want to voice it. Brian says Ducks got shafted with our bowl opponent. Who are they playing? It's like
Liberty.
Yeah, that's right. I texted you about that. I was like, what an insult, right? It's ridiculous. They'll beat Liberty 56-3.
They're gonna smoke Liberty.
Yeah.
They're gonna do with Liberty what Georgia did to them last
Yeah.
year. They'll get to beat up on a team wearing red again.
Yeah. So you hate to see it, but I mean, Oregon still is in a good spot. Dan Lanning has the program in a completely different direction. Is Bo Nix coming back another year, Brian? Do we know that? I don't know. We'll have to find out, but
I don't think he can.
I don't think he can either. He's on his Stetson Bennett status right now.
Well, unless he applies for like a.
I think Bo Nix is getting some phone calls from Belichick right about now. You got to think, right?
Daryl.
Yeah. Bo is coming back.
The New England Patriots.
Yes.
We now exist in a time in the world where the New England Patriots are a poverty franchise. Like, I cannot believe I'm saying that.
Whatever contract or deal with the devil that the Patriots owner, I forget his name for some reason,
Robert Kraft.
Whatever deal he struck with the devil, he must not have read the fine print where it said up to 15 years or something like that. Because now they have fallen off, and I mean, it's like a monkey's paw situation in Foxborough.
Yeah,
I am shocked.
They played the Chargers last week. They only allowed 6 points, which would normally be great, but turns out they didn't score any points.
Yeah.
So
they're looking like the Raiders.
And also, I can't remember the last time an NFL game ended 6-0. We could probably look that up, but
yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it really is, and it makes you wonder, like, moving forward, what really their plan is. Like, because Zappe came in the other day, and he had a pretty reasonable game. So do you sit?
Bailey Zappe.
Do you sit and polish him like they did in Seattle with Geno, or do you go move on and try to find your next?
They're gonna draft a quarterback.
You think so, huh? Yeah.
It's gonna be one of these top guys coming out.
Or do they trade for Zach Wilson? Because I heard he's on the market. So.
Seriously though, you know who the Steelers should trade for after this season? Think about all the weapons the Steelers have right now.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing they need is a serviceable quarterback. You know who you go get? Kirk Cousins.
Listen,
I'm serious. Go get Kirk Cousins.
Yes,
Kenny Pickett, you gotta come out that number 8 jersey. But go get Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree. Kirk Cousins could fit. Kirk Cousins is one of those quarterbacks that could just fit into any offense immediately and play well because he's
so smart.
Yeah, he's extremely smart. He's extremely hardworking. I mean, he's that guy, right? Like, people make fun of him for taking the day off, but I think that's a great decision.
Brian said it was 2 field goals, 2, and not a touchdown and a missed extra point. Yeah. Also, so Daryl, I have a little bit of NFL trivia for you. It's a 2-parter.
All right, hit me.
As Cowboys fans and as the rest of the NFL knows, we currently have witnessed DeRon Bland break the record for the most amount of pick sixes in a season.
Yes.
Can you tell me which franchise owns the record for most pick sixes in a game?
It's got to be the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It is not the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, I have no clue.
It is the Seattle Seahawks.
That checks out. That would have been my next guess.
They had, back in the 80s, they had 4 pick sixes in a game against the Kansas City Chiefs because they used to be in the same division.
Man.
Now.
That's painful.
Even deeper NFL knowledge.
Oh, we'll see it, Brian. I really think we will. Talking about a rematch of Penix and Bo Nix in the NFL. We'll see it.
Hopefully it's better than Vince Young and Matt Leinart. Anyway. But anyway, can you tell me who threw the pass that ended up being the 4th pick six to break the record?
This was in the 80s?
It was in the 80s. Kansas City Chiefs. I'll tell you one of their quarterbacks. Starting quarterback was Todd Blackledge.
But their backup is who threw this, I guess.
3rd string.
Their 3rd string was who threw this.
Third string.
This is going to be some ridiculous, like it was Joe Montana or something like that.
No, it was not Joe Montana.
No clue.
It was a man named Sandy Oshesky.
Okay. Wouldn't have got that.
Yeah. There's a great little NFL Films video. They call it the original Legion of Boom or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like an All-American. He came out of the same, like,
Benjamin Franklin.
He came out the same like draft class, like high school classes, like John Elway and I think Barry Sanders. Maybe like there was some really good, or maybe there was a couple of quarterbacks. But I think I remember him saying John Elway. He was up there, but he went to Arizona State and he had a bunch of injuries or whatever, and then he ended up playing. That was his only season in the NFL when he played for the Chiefs, and he ended up having a starring role in what became NFL history.
Wow.
Can you imagine 4 pick sixes in a game?
Yeah, you gotta retire.
For the same team. Yeah, it's
that's insane. So but speaking of actually that I don't really have a speaking of, but I do have some interesting news I would like to get out there. I found out this week. So as you know, A&M has went through a big hiring process. They got rid of Jimbo. They're changing some things around. So let me tell you how hilarious their new hire is. Right. So they went and got Mike Elko, who was the former defensive coordinator under Jimbo. Not a big deal. People liked him. He went off and did okay at Duke for a year, did fine. He's coming back, understands the program, can kind of pick up where he left off, except he's actually in the lead seat. He goes and hires an OC because what's his face? The old
Bobby Petrino is going back to Arkansas,
which is cool.
Which is a whole other can of worms we can get into in a minute.
Good for him. A&M went and hired Colin Klein. Do you know who that is?
Colin Klein?
Colin Klein.
If I'm not mistaken, he was the Kansas State quarterback that was set runner-up in the Heisman the year Johnny and Manti Te'o were finalists.
You are correct. So he was a Heisman finalist back in 2012. And he is now, or formerly was, the offensive coordinator at K-State, which I find hilarious because I truly think, and this is a good hire. I'm excited about this hire because it's a young guy, and that's what I really wanted on this coaching staff was youth. Especially on the offensive side, I wanted something that was very much like I see the future of football. I'm not stuck in the past trying to do these old play designs. I like innovation. I like creativity. So I was very hyped up about that. What I like about this, what I think is hilarious, it's because Texas comes to the SEC next year, and I think A&M circled that guy and said, Texas has been struggling with Kansas State every goddamn year. Oklahoma has been struggling against Kansas State every year. So they went and got that guy. Yeah, so I think they went and got that guy for that exact reason. At least a little bit. Yeah.
That was the year it should have been Kansas State and Oregon in the Natty, but they were both undefeated with one to go and got Kansas State got mollywopped by Baylor, and Oregon lost a close one to Stanford.
Yeah.
So, which goes back to that stat. We talked about this stat 2 years ago on this show, because I go back and watch our old episodes sometimes. When Oregon plays, if they're a top 3 team in the country, and they play at Stanford is 4-0, 5-0.
Such a weird stat.
It's the craziest shit in the world. But I remember that I was at the casino that night, and I couldn't even gamble yet. I was just sitting, and they had a area, and I was eating a burger. But my mom wanted to go to the casino. I was like, all right with you. And they had TVs on, and one TV was on the Baylor Kansas State game, the other one was on Oregon Stanford, and I was just sitting there watching them oh my God, they're blowing up the national championship right now.
Yeah.
Or it might have been one of them versus Notre Dame, because Notre Dame was also undefeated that year.
College football is so fascinating to me like that, because you look at shit like that, and then you look at the Iron Bowl, and then you look at Texas struggling against Kansas State, and Oklahoma 3 years in a row struggling with Kansas State. You look, college football, you watch the NFL and it's fun, everything's great, right? Usually the thing that's supposed to happen on paper is what happens. There are exceptions, of course, but in most cases. But at college football, that shit just gets thrown out the window. It's almost like these younger guys, for whatever reason, just believe in. I can't explain it, but there's things in college football that should not happen that do, and that's just right up there with it.
That's the beauty. Oh, he's at K-State's on a 7-game losing streak to Texas.
But they always struggle with them. I think I was really thinking about Oklahoma, honestly, because there was 3 or 4 years though. But regardless, it's a cool hire. I'm happy about it.
Yeah. So we're gonna pause the bus on football for a second, Daryl. We're gonna talk about some golf.
Oh, let's hear it.
Okay.
I've been very unplugged from the golf world, so.
This has nothing to do with actual golf. This is a hypothetical situation that's happening to you.
Okay.
You get $1 million right now, tax-free, no strings attached, in your bank account.
Uh-huh.
Or you get $10 million, but you have to go 9 under at Augusta National in 8 hours or less with unlimited mulligans.
Unlimited mulligans?
Unlimited mulligans. You have to go 9 under in 8 hours or less at Augusta National.
Oh my God. 9, dude. Could I do it? I'm gonna say no, I couldn't, and the reason is because the greens are just that, like, the greens that you hit into as a regular golfer, as an average golfer playing in the average course, you can land a ball in there and they stay, right? And like, okay, and then you go and you putt, you got a long putt and you suck a putt, whatever, and that's how you get bogey. But at Augusta, the greens are, number one, a speed that none of us play on because no golf courses you can just publicly play on that fast. And number two, they have all these false fronts and lots of like deceptively safe areas to land. I've watched lots of shit on this, but basically I'm taking the money and not messing with Augusta. I would love to play it. Like, that'd be amazing, of course. In fact, I might just do it so I could play Augusta, even if I did, just to get the experience. But I'm not winning the money. Like, I would play Augusta, but I'm not winning the money because it's you can't even wrap your head around how hard that would be, even if you were a good golfer, to do that.
People don't understand the gap between the average golfer and a professional golfer.
Yeah, is
the largest gap between a pro and an amateur in all of sports.
Yes, 100%. There is a stat out there that on any given par 3, a pro golfer has a 1 in 2,500 chance of getting a hole-in-one, right? So it's well under 1%, but it happens, right?
And ours has got to be in like the tens of millions, right?
For us, it's 1 in every 250,000. So it's like an exponential change. Because it's just...
It's like orders of magnitude.
Yeah. And it's, and again, it's what makes the difference. And again, like it is not just hitting the ball straight. It is understanding not just the wind, but the humidity and what time of day it is and your elevation. Like, these are things that pros actually think about that you would have no clue. Like, there's so many things that go into a golf ball. We're not getting into that, but it's the gap is massive.
Tangent of the week. Talk a little bit about golf.
Yeah. The gap is massive.
Daryl, are you also aware that Army Navy is tomorrow?
Go Army.
Go Navy.
I don't know. I haven't watched. I don't know what they're doing this year. I don't even know what their record
Army
is.
will probably win. I don't know what their record is, but Army will probably win because I think they had the better record this year.
Yeah.
But it's Army Navy, so who knows? Mm-hmm. But we are going to talk about the uniforms. We haven't done uniforms in like 2 weeks.
Ooh, please do. Brian says you can take $10,000 or you can compete with Tyreek Hill on a 100-yard dash with a 3-second head start for half of 3 seconds. 100 yards.
I'll be about 10 Ds because I'm not beating Tyreek. A 3-second head? No.
For 100 yards.
Run me my 10 bands.
Now wait a minute. Let me do some math here.
You might have a chance because you're tall as shit.
Let me do some math here.
I'm short and slow and
if I had a month to train for it, 100-yard dash, I could probably run. I could probably run a 40 in like 6 seconds, right? You can run a 40 in 4 seconds. So if we do some math, 6 seconds, 14 seconds. It's going to take me 14 seconds to run a 100-yard dash. It's going to take him 10 seconds. I got a 3-second head start. He still beat me, so I'm taking the money.
Yeah, give me the money.
It's frame data says well.
Give me the money. It absolutely is.
Give me the money.
Yeah, I got that golf question from a TikTok channel I watch.
Yeah.
I think I sent you the video, but you may not have watched it.
Yeah, but give me Army. Army is a 3-point favorite. But tell me about these uniforms.
So Army is honoring, they always honor a certain division. And I really like these Army uniforms. They're really great.
I already know this is going to be nasty.
Well, I don't know what it is, but these uniforms that Army has been wearing, they'll do like a tan. I don't know what it is. It just looks so good. Hold on, it's on here somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Swag Army. You found it?
Yes, I did. Oh man. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, they're honoring the 3rd Infantry Division. I like these quite a bit. I don't know what it is about that tan color that's been speaking to me. Like tan and like the shade of green on my watch. Mm-hmm. Those colors have been speaking to me here recently, and I don't know why.
No, I'm here for that, man. That's really nice. I love that they do this.
I do too.
They do such a good job.
I think I like last year's better than these, but these are still very.
No, these are clean as hell.
Last year's are some of the best they've ever done.
Yeah, these are clean as hell, but last year was pretty fantastic.
Yeah, and then Navy is doing. They're doing like they're honoring like submarine crews, right? So they have hand painted helmets with a submarine on the side, and it's like all like underwater dark navy blue.
Oh, I think they might wear the uniform battle. That's what I think. Hang on a minute. I'm pulling
Navy
it up.
always has the crazy.
Oh, we're thinking.
Malik Neighbors didn't win the Bolitnikov. Are you serious? Who won? It had to be Marvin Harrison Jr., right? Whoever didn't vote for Malik Neighbors, I need to know your name. I just want to talk.
I just want to talk. All right, so here's the Navy uniforms. Very, very nice.
Slide racks. I just need to talk to you real quick.
Right. I just want to talk to him. I need to. Oh, look at the shoulder pad, man. That's very nice. I want to see the helmet.
They'll show it.
Oh. The website, I gotta get more props to for sure. Show me the helmet. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yep, they were cooking. They were cooking with these. Oh man, that's so nice. How cool. That's filthy. I like that, man. The other ones are cleaner, but these feel like they have more imagination behind them.
Yeah.
Ah, that's so cool.
And also, I love that Army is a Nike school and Navy is an Armour school.
I do too.
Also, like, you watch Army Navy and you're like, you forget that these dudes are in the military, right? Like,
yes.
You're like, that's just they go to school at they go to school at West Point, but it's like, dog, that's the Army. Like, I'm sure I've told this joke before, but there was a comedian and he goes, how is Army not the best college football team?
You know, like it's a solid question. All right, we're fine.
He goes, it's a bunch of frat kids and like randos and random kids versus the United States Army. Like,
listen,
you would
man.
think they would be better, and they were really good back in the day, but.
Well, the Army doesn't. Listen, man, the Army teaches you a lot of things, and specifically how to be a big, strong offensive lineman who can't make your mile time is not one of those things. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's training for different things. I mean, to me, it's the equivalent of like if the Spurs went out, right, and they tried to go play against the Kansas City Royals in baseball, who's going to win? You know what I mean? Like,
Royals.
Now if it was if it was the Royals versus if it was the Spurs versus your like a high school baseball team, maybe the Spurs would have a chance. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's just what you're trained for type thing.
Yeah. It's like they're trained and everything except this one thing. It's like that episode of SpongeBob where he like tricked his mind into forgetting everything except fine dining and breathing.
Yeah. He's just like, where are these files? We gotta find them. That was a great episode.
It was. SpongeBob is such an infinitely quotable, memeable show. It's incredible.
That's what happens when you have great writers.
And they've had great writers for 20 years or more.
They have.
Because SpongeBob started in the late 90s. So.
Yeah. Well, boy, let's pick some NFL games because there ain't much college to pick this week. Well, real quick, I guess, who's your Heisman pick? Who do you think's winning the Heisman? Who do you think's winning the Heisman just at a glance, and who do you think's winning the playoff at a glance?
I'm going to go Jaden Daniels for the Heisman. I'm a little bit biased, but whatever. And then I'm going to go Texas over Washington. And I'm going to go Michigan over Bama. And then Michigan wins the Natty.
All right. I like it. Those are solid picks.
Now, the freshman in high school 2009 version of me, who was a big UT fan back then, really wants it to be Texas and Bama in the Natty and have Texas roll them. That's the inner, like, younger me wants that real bad. But.
See what I think. So for the Heisman, I think Mike Penix Jr. is going to get it. I think he just because they won that game, that's going to be just enough to sway. And Jaden Daniels, I think, has been fantastic, and realistically, like, he should have won it all. Especially when you consider I don't want to play the whole strength of schedule thing, but, like, I think he was probably playing a little bit more solid defenses. And I think he carried the team a little bit better than, because Washington, let's be honest, has a pretty damn good defense as well, right?
But you said you think he's going to win the Heisman?
I think Mike Penix is going to win it. As far as the playoff goes, I do think we get a Texas-Bama rematch, but I think Bama avenges their first loss, and it's a giant heartbreaking thing. That's what I think. I think we get a repeat of 2005. Not 2005, 2010.
9.
Was it 9 or 10? Not yet, 9. I think we get an exact. I think we get an exact rematch of that.
As long as it's the guy on the other purple and yellow team getting the Heisman, I won't mind. Except,
Quinn Ewers does not go down like Colt McCoy went down. And instead, the narrative for them losing is that he started to suck and they should have put in Arch Manning. Except Arch Manning then transfers because Quinn Ewers is coming back. I'm telling you, this is how it's going to play out. It's going to be a giant dumpster fire.
Where's Arch going to go?
That's his business. That's my guess, though.
It's fine. Like, cool that Arch Manning went to Texas or whatever. But
he's going to be their Kyler Murray.
Not going to, like, a traditional SEC school bothers me.
Yeah.
Like, you could have went to Georgia or Ole Miss or Tennessee.
He might go to Georgia.
Shit, come to LSU. Dog, you're from New Orleans. Why don't you come to LSU?
He might go to Georgia.
He could. They need a quarterback. They got Carson back, but I don't think he's all that great.
I just don't want him to go to A&M. I'm tired of the publicity. I just want us to quietly win. We've done the publicity thing. It destroyed us.
You trying to go to Kyle Field on Thanksgiving for UT and A&M next year?
Don't tempt me with a good time. Well, we're gonna check them records about 4 weeks out, and then we'll make that decision then.
I don't care what the records are.
Sure, yeah, you're right.
Period. No question about it.
But watch them both be like one-loss teams going into that, though, and it'd be this gigantic thing. Oh, we deserve it.
As a resident of the state of Texas, I cannot wait.
Oh, we deserve it. I'm so tired of Ohio State and Michigan being the big.
I'm fine with the Iron Bowl. I love the Iron Bowl, but yeah, get out of here with Ohio State.
Come on.
Give me UT and A&M back.
Seriously, it had to happen. Let's talk NFL, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we got 2 Monday night games. We got Titans and Dolphins, Packers and Giants. We know the Packers are probably going to win that game. They're rolling. They're back to 500. And we got Titans and Dolphins. Dolphins have been rolling. They're just like us for real.
The Tommy DeVito.
Yeah. So those are pretty black and white. We got Chargers and Broncos. Broncos, a team that probably should have beat the Texans last week, but the Texans defense held up. Rush throws a pick in the end zone. It was very reminiscent of the old Super Bowl whenever poor Richard Sherman was on the sidelines, just like it was very reminiscent of that. But who you got in this one, man? Los Angeles, Denver. It's going to be in SoFi. And Justin Herbert's going to be rocking and rolling. Russell Wilson's going to be leaning on his defense. Who you got?
The Broncos.
Take the Broncos, huh?
Brian, I am so sorry for what the words that are about to fly out of my mouth, but it's the way I feel. I feel as though Justin Herbert he is overrated, but he gets way hyped up because he had a good rookie season.
You know, they just in a sophomore slump? Because he hasn't been bad.
He's in his third year, isn't he? Third or fourth year?
I thought it was his second year.
No.
Oh, I guess you're right. He has been there a while, yeah, because he would have played. Yeah, I guess you're
right.
You
know what's crazy? Bo Nix and Justin Herbert played against each other in college.
Mm-hmm. And
Bo Nix is still in college. And Justin Herbert's been in the league for like 4 years.
I remember. I watched that game. It was a good game. We're down to the wire. Bo Nix won on the lower.
And I like Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
I do. I want him to be good. Maybe they need new broken finger on a team with no defense. That I agree with.
Yeah, that's par for the course for the Chargers.
A better defense, he'll. But also, I've said this, and when we were watching, I went and watched the Seahawks game with a friend of mine the other day. He texted me, my previous boss. He texted me the other day, and he said, "Hey man, let's watch the game." I was like, "All right, sure, whatever." So I met him at the bar, and we're sitting there, and I was. Herbert is easily competitive with Mahomes.
Yeah, but Zach Wilson was also competitive with Mahomes this year, so I don't know.
Yeah.
You know? Patrick Mahomes has not looked himself this year.
The Chargers as an organization are the LA Clippers of the NFL.
I'm sure that checks out.
The Los Angeles Angels of the NFL.
I'm sure.
Speaking of the Angels, Shohei Ohtani signed with the Blue Jays.
I'm fine with it. At least he's not with the Angels anymore. Yeah. Good for him. Go make the paper.
As long as he wasn't the Rangers or the Yankees. But you know who the Yankees do have?
Who that?
Juan Soto.
Yeah, he actually fits there. It makes it easier for you to hate them. You know what I mean?
As if I needed another reason to not like Juan Soto. He's a Yankee now.
That man had the most punchable face in all of professional sports.
I disagree. That's Nick Sirianni.
Also an S-tier punchable face. Also an S-tier punchable face. Anyway, so Broncos. Agree.
Broncos.
Yeah, I'm taking Broncos too. We got Bills and the Chiefs. It's going to be in Kansas City. Yeah, okay. This is the afternoon spot on CBS. We got Buffalo. We got Kansas City. This is a game, and we say it every week that the Bills can and should win. What's going to happen though? God only knows. They're at 500. They're trying to sneak their way in because they do have an outside look at it. A couple things went right for them last week. Texans took care of Denver, so that helped them out. Then the Bengals beat the Jacksonville.
The Jaguars.
So that hurt them. But
Jake Browning with the game in
on a random Monday just came out the tent looking like Johnny Manziel.
32 of 37 for 400-something yards and 4 touchdowns. Dog, where'd you come from?
Yeah, I don't know. He
Also, did you know that in high school, in his senior season, he scored 91 touchdowns?
I believe it. And I mean, to me, he just screams a guy that has a lot of talent. Maybe just needs time to develop, but maybe he is their guy. Maybe we have a strange.
They're not getting rid of Joe Burrow.
Well, I don't know that they do that, but I think you have to have an awkward conversation if he's that good. You know what I mean?
There's a bunch of teams that need a quarterback right now.
I'll tell you this much. I tell you this much. He fit right perfectly. If he plays like this, he's going to play. He's going to fit perfectly fine in New England's offense. He's going to fit perfectly fine in. I'd say the Panthers, but their problems with the quarterback.
Will says hot take going to be a heartbreaker for the Bills. Will, I disagree. I think the Bills win this game. And let me tell you why.
Tell me.
Because Kansas City's wide receivers couldn't catch a cold.
I kind of agree with you. Yeah, and I'm taking the Bills on this one. I feel like they're
due. Give me the Bills by a field goal because a Chiefs wide receiver is going to drop a wide open pass that should have gone for a touchdown, and it's going to give the Bills the ball back, and they're going to drive down and kick a field goal with no time.
See, yeah, and I agree with you. I'm taking the Bills on this one because they have looked normal again since getting rid of Ken Dorsey. Josh Allen is wide open again. He's playing good ball again. Like the offense has not been the problem. It was the problem before that. Now it's not the problem. The defense has been doing their job, and Philly was an anomaly because that's a game that I think they win 7 or 8 times out of 10. Should have won that. I think they will win this. Yeah, but it should be a fun game to watch. This will be a big one to circle. I'm sure Tony Romo will be calling this one. It'll be a blasty blast. But give me the Bills.
Yeah.
And not a close one. I think they win pretty handily.
They finally exercised their demons against the Chiefs, but then it doesn't matter because they don't make the playoffs.
Seahawks 49ers, they're going to be in San Fran. Geno looked fantastic, as we know, coming off that Thursday.
Can you hear me, by the way? My
Yeah.
microphone's been like way over here.
Yeah, you're fine. But Geno looked great, and he had a longer week. It looks like he does have a groin thing going on, so we'll see how that plays out. But with a little bit of extra rest time, I think they make it close, but I think San Fran does win this game.
Niners are too much. As much as I want Seattle to pull the upset, Niners.
It'll be closer than the previous week, I think, because they'll be a little rested. And
somebody, I tell you what, playing downhill physical and adversity instead of adversity.
Yes, that's pretty good.
That's hilarious. You watch a game with Al Michaels, and he's like, "Well, here's a guy."
Now here's a guy that really came for nothing. Yeah, I'm taking the Niners though.
Yeah, Niners. Somebody go put somebody go do something nefarious but not life-threatening to Deebo Samuel. We need the Seahawks to win this game.
I mean,
because people keep talking about how they want Brock Purdy to win over Dak Prescott right now, but if you look at what happened, Deebo Samuel got hurt. Niners lost 3 games in a row, and then he came back and they kicked the shit out the Eagles. So
I hope Deebo
but also,
Samuel.
any quarterback's going to be good when you got the damn Avengers on your team.
Yeah.
Freaking Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey. Like, what more do you freaking need? You got Fred Warner on defense. Oh, the Niners are just crazy.
I hope Deebo Samuel bites his tongue eating breakfast that morning. It just ain't quite right the rest of the day. You know what I mean?
Stubs his toe walking out the locker room.
Yeah. All right, we got Minnesota and the Raiders. It's going to be in Las Vegas. I like the Vikings in this one. I think that both teams coming off 2 losses. Defense is both playing fine, right? I mean, Las Vegas is able to hold Miami to 20. They were able to hold Kansas City to, well, I guess 31 is kind of a lot. I guess it's kind of a lot. But the point is, these are 2 teams that can do a lot of things to each other. I like the Vikings to win this close.
Yeah, Raiders are bad.
I take it back. I think the Raiders are going to pull it out. I think the Raiders are going to figure something out because they were handing it to Kansas City for a hot little minute last week. So I think they figure it out, and I think they beat the Vikings this week. I'm tripping.
I want Kansas City and the Raiders to start being a good rivalry again.
I do
the
too.
Raiders need to be good.
I do too.
And so they need to start playing close games with Kansas City. But I like Aiden O'Connell a lot.
Yeah, I do too. He's growing on me.
So, Brian, question. Depending on where Bo goes, is that who your new team is going to be?
No, he just going to have multiple teams.
Unfortunately, one of them is the Eagles because that's where Marcus Mariota is.
Well, Mariota's not as exciting as he once was. Here we go, Willie. We got the Rams. They're going to Baltimore. 9-3 is Baltimore. Got a lot to play for at this point. Leading the division, doing very
Baltimore,
well.
I need y'all to beat San Francisco later in the season. I need y'all to beat the Niners. Y'all play them in like 3 weeks.
They do. That's going to be a spectacular game.
Please win that game.
That's going to be a very, very good game. Circle that one.
Super Bowl, whatever number rematch.
Ravens ought to win this one, but you know how it is. The Rams are on a 3-game win streak. They're playing loose. They're dangerous. Rams are a good sleeper pick in this game. I think that the Ravens do just enough, but look out because the Rams are a professional football team. Who you got?
Give me the Ravens.
You the Ravens?
Not close. Ravens by a lot.
All right. Here we go. Jags-Browns. Trevor Lawrence got a little banged up last week. Cleveland, also quarterback situation is a little sketchy. That's going to be a battle of defenses, I think, in this game. I'm not sure if Trevor Lawrence is playing or not.
He had a high ankle sprain.
So he'll probably be back, but just not his usual self.
Or probably C.J. Beathard.
Could be, yeah. No, I like
the C.J. Beathard give me their opponent.
But if this is going to be a game of defense between these 2 teams, I like the Browns. Give me the Browns at home.
Especially if T-Law is not playing.
Yeah.
And the Browns are at home, yeah. It's going to be cold. them Jacksonville boys ain't used to that shit.
No, I'm with you.
Browns.
I agree.
Because Myles
I agree.
Garrett is an actual superhuman.
Let's see. Any chance you think the Bears upset the Lions?
I mean, it's the Lions, so like anything could happen, but probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so. The Bears have been doing some sneaky shit lately. But anyways, big game of the week. Here we go. Let's get enough fucking around. We got Philly. We got Dallas. It's going to be in Dallas. Dallas is on like a 13-game home win streak right now.
14 games.
14
we have
games.
not lost a game at home since week 1 of 2022.
Last
which was
week.
against the Buccaneers, and we should have won that game, but Brett Maher is trash, and he was playing for somebody, he just got cut the other day, and I was just like, good.
Really? That's crazy. That's all right. Our boy Brandon Aubrey knows what he's doing. In Aubrey we trust.
Yes, he does.
But yeah, so this obviously should be a fantastic game. A lot of people.
This is the biggest game of the season so far.
Yeah,
I
think
said
so.
it last time. I said the last time when the Cowboys played the Eagles, that was the biggest game of the season. Eagles-Niners was the biggest game of the season so far. This is the biggest game of the season so far.
Yeah.
There's a lot riding on this game. Because if Dallas wins, we'll have a lead in the division, and we'll have the same record as the Eagles, even though they would hold the tiebreaker over us if we finish with the same record, which is why we need somebody else to beat the Eagles. Please, Seahawks, y'all the best chance, because they play the Seahawks and they go Giants, Cardinals, Giants. Please, Seattle, for the love of God, please beat Philly next week.
Oh yeah, no, that's gonna be. Yeah, it's literally just Seattle. They should win those other games, but you know how it is, man. Late season, teams just start to get.
Could the passing Paisan Tommy DeVito sneak up and grab him one? Of course they could, because the Eagles' defense isn't playing the way they should be.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. But it's going to be very interesting to see regardless. To me, this game is going to come down to defense.
The biggest regular season game for the Cowboys in like 10 years, probably.
Yeah,
or in a while.
I think this is going to come down to
biggest
defense.
Biggest regular season game of Dak's career so far.
Yeah, I think so too. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it does come to defense. I think that I think both quarterbacks are going to do their job, right? Like I don't think that. I think it is truly going to come down. It's going to look very similar to the Seattle game, to be honest with you. I think it's high scoring. I think it's I don't know if it's going to be who has the ball last type thing, as much as it's going to be like who can force a critical turnover to get like a 2-possession score. You know what I mean? I think if you can get that little bit of distance, because both offenses look great right now. Maybe Dallas's looks a little bit better. Eagles' defense looks pretty good right now. They're probably looking better than Dallas's does. So
I disagree. They gave up 42 points last week.
Yeah, but that was against the best team in the NFL. So we'll see. Anyway. And they're banged up, but Dallas has a longer week to rest as well because they're coming from a Thursday, so they got some extra time. And Philly does not have that same extra time.
Which is why we're catching Philly at the right time.
Yes.
And I love what Nick Bosa just said. He was like, all right, Dallas, here's all the film you need on how to beat Jalen Hurts. Go do it. Thank you, San Francisco.
I mean, yeah.
All the I was going to have you know that meme? It's like the two big, strong arms shaking hands?
Yeah.
It was going to be Cowboys fans, Niners fans hating Eagles.
Yeah.
Like, screw the Eagles. I'm picking the Cowboys. And let me tell you why I think the Cowboys run away with this. One, we have film on Jalen Hurts. Two, Jalen Hurts was in concussion protocol last week.
Was he really? I didn't know that.
He was in concussion protocol. He got hit, and they put Marcus Mariota in for 2 plays. So, could be still with after effects of a concussion, but...
I mean, I hate that, but still.
Dallas, though...
Something.
1, Dallas is at home. 2, we're on a long week of rest because we played a Thursday game. 3, the Eagles' defense isn't playing the way the Eagles' defense should be playing, and Dak has been lighting people up. Cowboys' defense is great. DeRon Bland, give me one against Philly. Add to this pick 6 total against Philly, please, for the love of God.
Yeah.
Give me I was never picking the Eagles over the Cowboys, let's be honest. Give me the Cowboys 35-17.
So here's what I'll say. I think that this Philly team...
This Philly's going to score some points, but we're going to figure them out.
This Philly team is good. I don't think anyone can dispute that. But I don't think, and I've said this before, I don't think they're as good as their record. I think that I've seen this film before, but never to this extent. There's been a lot of teams in the past we've seen, like I remember Tennessee back in like 2014, where it was like they're a good team clearly, but it was like tiny little things kind of kept going their way, right? Like one key play here, one key play there, and they won. They found ways to win. Which you look at that and you go, yeah, a team that can find ways to win is obviously doing well. They're doing that, right? But I think after last week, the pixie dust kind of starts to run out, right? They did bounce back against the Jets earlier in the season, so like you can circle that and say, well, maybe they figured it out. But I don't know. You circle it and you go, this could be a moment where they start to skid. Maybe they won't. I'm obviously rooting for the Cowboys.
Skid should have already started.
Well,
here's what worries me though: the head referee for this game favors the Eagles a lot. And look, I know what you're going to say. A Cowboys fan talking about the refs. Look, here's my question, right? Every football fan in America would agree that referees can change the outcome of games. We all agree with that across the board. But all of a sudden, because a Cowboys fan is talking about bad officiating, it's an excuse.
No, it's been bad this year. They were talking about it in the Philly and the San Fran game the other day, and it had nothing to do with us. They were talking about it in the Philly and the Bills game 2 weeks ago, and it was like, it's been a weird year. Like, the officiating has been very, very aggressive.
The head official for this week, when he officiates Eagles games, the Eagles are 7-0, and in those games they have like 6 penalties. And their opponents have 21.
Well, we gonna need that play from the longest yard when Adam Sandler throws it over the middle, right into the. Listen.
And the fact that we have the ability to even know that stat tells you that the NFL needs to investigate their referee.
Well,
we need AI referees. Is what we really need.
Well, the fact that in the MLB. We have like a little box that can tell you exactly where the ball went, and that's not being used. Tells you that something's up with, you know what I mean? Like, there's too much money, but whatever. We're not doing conspiracy theories. I'm taking the Eagles to win this game just because I want to be safe. I feel like if I pick the Cowboys too, that's cursed. I really obviously hope the Cowboys win, but I feel like
the Eagles. I'm never picking the Eagles to win anything. The only time I wanted the Eagles to win something is I wish last year in the Super Bowl that both teams could have won, because I love the Kelsey brothers. And I wanted them to be able to celebrate with their parents at the Super Bowl. But, no. And I want to be able to talk shit to Kejavian on Facebook. So.
Well, of course, that's what half of this is all about.
Yeah. And you know what I don't do though? Because like I have all these ideas for like memes and shit that I want to like tag him in and make and send to him. But like I don't make them yet, because if I make them now, the Cowboys will lose. You know what I mean?
Oh, is that
like,
so? You never seen those memes where it's like a meme folder of like memes if they win, memes if they lose, or like memes if it's announced, memes if it's not announced. You never seen that before? Yeah, like, that's what you need in meme folders.
Yeah, but it's like it's gonna be like all custom shit that I'm making.
Oh, okay.
Hilarious.
I'm sure it will.
But anyway, go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. I mean, like I say, I think they have an extraordinarily high chance to win, but something will go wrong inevitably. That's why I'm picking the Eagles.
The only game, the more I look at our schedule, the only game I am like, I'm worried about this game obviously because I don't like the Eagles, and this game I'm gonna be stressed out the whole game unless we're up really big. The only other game on our schedule that worries me is Miami, to be honest with you.
I'm just excited for that game. I mean, you have to circle the Bills, too, because their offense is so incredible. You're not worried about the Lions? You're not worried about the Bills?
No. Lions are frauds.
We are going to...
A little bit worried about the Bills. We have to go to Buffalo, then to Miami.
Hey, we're going to plow through these teams and lose to the Commanders, bro. It's a wrap. It's exactly how it's going to happen.
We're going to lose to the Commanders because we're resting our starters because we've locked up the number 1 seed.
That's fine. That's fine. But
because the Seahawks are going to beat the Niners. No, they're not.
We'll see.
Seahawks beat the Niners this week, and then they beat the Eagles next week. I
don't like the rest shit. I almost don't even want the number 1 seed because I don't want the bye. Like the bye has broken our leg in the past. I almost just want to stay fresh, just stay in it.
It's like hungry. How baseball, they were gonna add like a week of rest between the end of the regular season in baseball, or like the end of the championship series before you get to the World Series, and unanimously across the board, all the pitchers were like, "No, you cannot do that. It will take us out of our rhythm.
No.
And you will see some of the worst baseball you've ever seen."
Let me tell you something. I believe in routine. I believe in rhythm. And don't get me wrong. History shows like wild card teams never make the Super Bowl. So like it is what it is. And most of that's probably to do with their.
Though.
Well, sure.
Wild card teams make the Super Bowl all the time.
Well, the last time they did it was in 2020 with Tom Brady. The last time before that was like in 2009. Like it's very, very rare. Right, and most of that's probably because the worst teams are in the wild cards as opposed to those that make the first seeds. But my point is like, there's a part of you that's like, I don't like the rest. I don't like that they fall out of rhythm. Also, apparently, Mike McCarthy had his appendix removed, so good for him. I guess he's back to normal.
Yeah, he's gonna coach this Sunday. He walked back into the locker room today, and they played Mini Men by 50 Cent.
Love it.
Which song of the week? Go listen to that song if you've never heard it.
Anyways, now I'm stressed out about the Cowboys.
Being a Cowboys fan is stressful, dog.
But it's worth it if you're strong enough.
It's worth it, but it's stressful. Yeah.
If you're strong enough. No, it should be a fun game. I mean, take the Cowboys and Eagles shit out of it. Like, let's be honest. Like, it's going to be a very good game. It's going to be like if you're a football fan, it's going to be fun.
A good game.
I know you don't.
For a football fan, average football fan, yeah, great game. If you have no vested interest, fantastic game. As a Cowboys fan, I want to beat them by 50.
Yeah, I hope we also win.
I want to leave no doubt at all. Like, I don't want the game to be close because I don't want the referee to be able to affect the outcome. Because if it's close, they can. Blow them out so there's nothing. Who do the Texans play?
Texans play the Jets. Ooh. Circle it because
Tank Dell for the rookie wide receiver out of the University of Houston is out for the season, unfortunately.
He's out, and the Jets defense, we all know, is kind of a thing, right? So, against the rookie quarterback.
But you know who it wasn't a thing against? You know who it wasn't a thing against? The Cowboys.
Well, or the Bills on round 2.
Also, Eagles fans, if there are any Eagles fans watching on this, in this 2023 football season, I would like to let you know that the only two quarterbacks to go into the victory formation against your team this year were Zach Wilson and Sam. I just need to let you know that. I need you to picture the image of Zach Wilson's loving ass.
Thank you, Will.
Kneeling the ball to win the game against your team. Like, I need that to be in your head.
I have to let go of the hatred, otherwise I can't enjoy the game.
I need to. It's not healthy.
Because I have the same hatred, but I can't. I have to let it go.
But you know what I'm tired of as a society?
Tell me.
I'm tired of it being seen as a bad thing to be a hater.
All right.
If there's something I hate, I'm a hater. I'm gonna be a hater. You know what? It's like I saw. You know that scene from Kingdom Hearts where Sora up in the.
I'm sorry. What? Explain that to me again.
It's the meme. I think I want to say it's from Kingdom Hearts, maybe, or
okay.
It's some.
Paint the picture for me. I just wasn't expecting a Kingdom Hearts reference, but go ahead.
But there's it's Woody from Toy Story, pushing another character back. It's the meme where he walks out, and I saw.
Let me handle this.
I saw a thing. He goes, "I'm not a hater. Don't worry, I am." I saw that the other day, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Buff Ass Dog is back. He says life becomes so much better when you're a hater.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
I feel like you got to pick your battles.
See, I'm trying to collect haters. I'm all about that Cat Williams bit. Like I got 12 haters. I need to have 13 by Friday. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to collect as many as I can.
Here's the problem, though. The problem with Eagles fans is that they love that people hate them, and that's not what I want. I want the fact that I don't to bother you, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
Which tells me I just need to leave them alone.
I don't know. I just want everybody to be nice and have fun. Like I hate hearing those stories about I went to an Eagles game and I was wearing a Cowboys jersey and the people behind me dumped beer on my head during the middle of the game. That kind of shit makes my blood boil. And that's one thing I will say about A&M is like anytime you go there, they taught us, they were like, we are going to be like, God damn it, win or lose, we are going to be the kindest fucking fan base. You're gonna come to our games, and even if you're there on the other team, they're going to tell people how nice we were. Like, they're going to tell people how awesome it was to go to Kyle Field. To me, that's what fucking football is about. Like, we're all here. It brings people together. Like, let's fucking celebrate this. It's not this toxic thing. I don't know. It bothers me.
It's weird because I'm on the other side of the football fan. I'm an LSU fan, obviously.
I know. And when they came to,
people are rabid. Like LSU
when LSU fans came to Kyle Field, they used to make my blood boil, bro.
We're probably the Eagles fans of college football. That's Ohio State. But like when it comes,
Ohio State's tame. Ohio State is just there. They're not even that into their team. They're just kind of like the people you see in the stadium are the only Ohio State fans in the nation that aren't bandwagon fans and never been there. Like there's not many. It's not the same. You had it right the first time. LSU fans are the Eagles fans of college football.
So like I can't really talk. I remember one time your wife, we talk shit on Alabama all the time, and she was
True buff. True.
She goes, y'all hate Alabama, but y'all's high school was like the Alabama of high football.
Yes.
Which it boils down to like, I want to do it, but I don't want to see anyone else do it.
You can dish it out, but you can't take it, is what I'm hearing. Mm-hmm.
He says, oh no, A&M, they're the most culty fan base ever. And every single one of them would agree with you.
Yeah.
A&M's a cult, dog.
But we're kind. We're not gonna make you drink your own. Like, we're just happy to have you. Yeah. Have some barbecue.
Harold, did you do an Aggie rink dunk?
No, I still want to do that. I mean, I technically missed the window, but like technically I can do it. I just haven't done it.
Yeah. I feel like you could do it at any time. Like I didn't know there was a window.
Yeah, there's like a day that everyone does it, but I mean, it's like you do whatever you want, I guess.
It's traditionally in beer, right? Because I've seen all kinds of stuff, but it's traditionally in beer.
In beer.
I saw somebody. Did you go to A&M? Yes, he did. He is a graduate of Texas A&M University.
Correct.
I saw somebody, they were like, I want to do my Aggie ring dunk in sauce.
Yeah. I heard that. The first time I heard that, I was like I couldn't do it. Bryce, this
stream is not a safe space for Eagles fans. Facts.
It smells like bitch in here. Well, go Cowboys. Good luck to our team this weekend.
Good luck, yeah. I will say this. The Eagles fans that I've seen be horrible to people are people who are from the city of Philadelphia. Because, like, me and your classmate Kejavian go back and forth on Facebook. Like, we band together, obviously.
But he's not.
But, like, we go back and forth. He's not.
He's not what you're referring to when you say toxic Eagles fan.
No. Kejavian, if you're ever watching this, please know that I'm not talking about. We have fun and we go back and forth, and I might get. But I just really don't like it when people talk shit about my team, offend them till I'm blue in the face. So that's just what it is.
It's part of it. It's part of it.
Yeah. My wife is making comments about what I'm.
Yeah, I bet she is. Well, anyway, my boy.
Yeah.
What do you say we call it tonight? I'm tired. I'm gonna go to
I'm tired too. I worked. We worked 12 today. We got inventory next Friday, so we stayed a little bit late.
Damn it! Y'all gotta go in tomorrow.
No.
Good shit.
I don't think we are. I should probably know that information. I don't think we are.
Well, my boy, I hope you have a lovely night. Everyone that was here in the chat, Buff, Will, Brian, who else was here? One more person was here. Spencer Ross, my boy. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all have a lovely week. Like the video, share the video, subscribe, and we will see you next week, same time.
Go Navy, beat Army.
We'll be
go Cowboys.
Go Army, go Cowboys. Well, I guess we'll be talking Bowls games next week, so that'll be fun.
Bowl games next week, and more NFL, obviously.
Hell yeah! All right, y'all. Take care. Let the good times roll. See y'all next time.
Yes.
Late G Brian, be good, buddy.